Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining this conversation today, our BidExecs Roadshow. You only get to hear from me. We don't have a panel today. The last one we did, we also had our Chief Growth Officer with us, and Ben Latalian will probably be back on our future roadshows. But for those of you who have taken the time to join us, thank you. The conversation topic of our webinar today, and more of a conversation today, is about how you can start your own proposal consulting business and how you can be part of a successful infrastructure that is already in place. I wanted to share with you some of the experiences, thought process of why we came up with BidExecs and how it can benefit you all. I do want to let you know that the Q&A lines are open. So as I'm talking, if you come up with questions, please type your questions in the Q&A box. If you'd like to reach me directly for more information or want to chat more about whether it is having a BidExecs franchise or for any other career-related questions, I'm always available. So feel free to reach me. I'll have my contact information. I think it's on here on the slide. This mail will get to me. If not, I'm hoping that somewhere on these slides that I did provide you with other contact information as well. So again, welcome to BidExecs Roadshow, and it does say North Carolina because as we launch BidExecs, North Carolina is our first state of focus and really where we want to grow and expand ourselves, starting with North Carolina, just a little south of where we currently are, Northern Virginia. So if you're not in North Carolina, this still applies to you. We are going to be building out the business nationwide. So again, while the slide says North Carolina, you can be anywhere in the country and you can be part of BidExecs. So without further ado, I'm going to get a little bit into the topics of discussion, and then I'll tell you my background and why I started BidExecs. So what we're going to discuss today are a few things about why being an independent consultant doesn't really make sense in the bid and proposal industry as it is today, and how you can use and leverage BidExecs as an alternate. What it takes to scale your business without the huge overheads that come in to building your business. I'll give you a few tips on how Proposal Helper and now BidExecs is able to do that and be so competitive and compelling in the marketplace. How you can be part of a multi-million-dollar bid and proposal industry with the freedom of owning your own business. So through BidExecs, while you're part of an overall nationwide and hopefully global, because we do have global inquiries as well, and we are looking at them for future growth, but not just in wanting to be an independent consultant, but how can you be part of this huge network so that the business card you carry gives you the weightage and the credibility that you need in order to scale your business. What is BidExecs and how you can join our network? And I really want to make this more informational about the industry, more than just about us, but the intent was to educate you all about the first in the industry option to have your own proposal consulting franchise. Before I do that, just a little bit about my background. My name is Reena Bhatia. I'm the CEO of BidExecs and Proposal Helper. My email address, my direct email address is provided here if you'd like to reach me. I spent over 25 years in this industry, in the government and commercial contracting industry, whether that's in the proposal writing and proposal management career, and also gone all the way into business development, not just in the US, but also international. I built Proposal Helper as a market disruptor. When we started 10 years ago, we were the only company that provided fixed price proposal services to the industry. We disrupted this market space, and now we're doing it again with BidExecs. We're we're going to disrupt it again by having this network of BidExecs with us in every state, regardless of where you are in the US. A government contractor will touch a BidExec at some point. That's our goal. I have served as a senior business development executive with publicly traded companies and small business, so I know the gamut of what it takes to be a small business, what it is like to serve a small business, and how do you present and project and grow your company from a small to a large business. I have led projects, again, as I said, across the United States, Asia Pacific, and the Middle East, which again gives us that as a BidExecs network, that we have connections and we're growing across globally, not just in the United States. I do serve as a board member to several government contractors and as a strategic advisor. I've spoken at various panels. In fact, right before this webinar, I was on an AFCEA panel in Florida, which was very interesting and fun. I enjoy sharing our knowledge, and we really, truly, as an organization, and our culture is that we are teachers at heart. You will find that in everyone who works for us. We love sharing knowledge. So this is something I enjoy doing. And what it is going to do for the brand as BidExecs, if you're a part of our network, is that it really brings credibility and marketing to our brand. So as I said, the discussion topics today, I have not prepared a whole bunch of slides because I wanted this to be more conversational. Again, the Q&A lines are open, so if you'd like to join and ask me questions, please do that. So let's start with the first question. Why being an independent consultant does not make any sense? Well, I shouldn't say does not make any sense. It does make sense given the right situation and why you're consulting in the first place. In the bid and proposal industry, in this marketplace that we are, and I used to be an independent consultant as well. I've been through that. So I know that as an independent consultant, while you are serving your customer and you're fully focused and dedicated to their proposal, growing their company, it is hard for you as an individual to scale your own business and have the ability to be a business owner. You are a one-person shop at that time. Or a lot of executives who have left larger companies, they get into the game of independent consulting as an alternate. If you're doing it for a lifestyle purpose, as in you want to decide, I only want to work 4 hours a day, or I want to do this as a, I worked all my life and now I just want to be, an independent consultant to decide when I take a gig or I don't take a gig. That's a whole different reason why you would do it. But if you are a proposal professional, a business development professional, and you want to grow your career and have a business around you with the ability and the flexibility of deciding whom you want to work with, then being an independent consultant is not always the best way to do it. The other thing I will also say, there are some organizations that have built proposal consulting firms. They bring consultants together. When a client needs something, they reach out and say, hey, are you available? And they'll go out and hire that person. There's a middle person who takes a cut on it. All kinds of different pricing structures that go on. But at the end of the day, the person who is doing the actual work is not able to scale. You're not able to grow your business and work if your desire is to be an entrepreneur and a business owner. You want to work, as we all say, on the business, not in the business. If you are an independent consultant, you will forever work in the business. It is very hard for you to grow and scale a truly, honestly big, large-scale business. And so in the proposal industry, and when you're a proposal consultant or a business developer, if you are a one-person shop, you really are going from gig to gig. you cannot think beyond the one project that you have right now. Or if you know that, hey, my proposal is going to be due in 5 days, I better have my next proposal lined up. And as we all know, especially if you're in the government business, these RFPs don't have any timelines. They come out very randomly. You can burn your nights and weekends if you're doing everything yourself. There is no shortage of work. We all know that. But if you're doing everything yourself, you're going to burn yourself out at some point, and you also want to avoid that. If you're making business development, if you have committed to making business development and proposals your career choice, you have to look at a different way of being in that business, enjoying that career, enjoying that field without burning yourself out. So being an independent consultant is not a long-term solution to this. And that's where, when I talk about BidExecs a little bit later, we explain to you why did we come up with BidExecs? Why, what was there a need? Why did we see a need for it? And how would that help you all? I'll talk about that in a minute. But let's go on to the next topic. What it takes to scale without adding overheads. Well, a proposal consulting firm, you can either say, I have very low overheads. All I'm going to do is have a network of consultants who are going to be available. And when I get a client, I pick and choose who is available and assign them to it. I don't have any overheads. I get paid by the customer. I'll pay my consultant. That is also, honestly speaking, not a scalable way to do this business. There are many companies who are doing it. It's a short-term success, in my opinion. But there's also a way to do it the way we built Proposal Helper and now BidExecs, and that we're teaching our franchisees and will be teaching our franchisees on how to do this, is to have a solid network or a solid base of employees and staff on your payroll, but you don't have to have overheads. There's a way to do this, or I shouldn't say no overheads, but very minimal overheads where you still are running a very profitable business. What does it take then to scale your business is, as I said, you need to have the right foundation in place, but then you also need to be technology or technically savvy. And that's what Proposal Helper has done. And again, I talk Proposal Helper, BidExecs interchangeably, because what we have done is proven and built all these systems for 10 years. It took us 10 years to perfect it in Proposal Helper. And that is what we are offering as a BidExecs to our BidExecs franchisees. What we have done is we have built our own tools. We looked around and evaluated a lot of tools in the marketplace. And while there are some really good ones, a tool has to go along with a process. It cannot be a standalone. A tool is just an enabler. Your business processes have to go along with, or the tool has to go along with the business processes. And so we did not find anything in the marketplace that would fit what we were looking for. So we actually have invested and built a lot of automation tools. Some of them are actually on our Proposal Helper website, but most of them are used internally, and that is part of what a BidExecs franchisee will be getting, is access to all this intellectual property that we have built in order for you to scale and take on more projects, to be able to do more without continuously adding more employees to the system or adding more overheads to your business. So that's something, again, that we can, if you have specific questions and want to dive more into it, please ask me your questions. So how can you be part of a multi-million-dollar bid and proposal industry with the freedom of owning your own business? Before I dive into that and start talking about BidExecs, I do want to tell you, There's no sugarcoating this. If you're going to be part of the bid and proposal industry, whether you do government proposals or commercial proposals, which we do both, and we teach you how to do both, it is not the idea and intent of investing in BidExecs and being part of this network is not for people who want to make this a lifestyle business. BidExecs is not a lifestyle business. This is a full-time career where you are committed to building a massive proposal practice, that you want to be part of a business that allows you to scale and you to still remain in the industry. So if you think you're going to work 4 hours a day and be done with it, this would not be the right fit for you. The very nature of our bid and proposal industry is something that never goes out of style, is how I say it. Especially if you are servicing government contractors, never goes out of style. Whether the economy is up or down, the government continues to spend. When the economy is doing really well, you see an uptick in commercial spending, and the commercial organizations that we service, we work with education and research institutes. We work with state governments. We work with county, federal, universities. We have worked with large corporations. We have done proposals for Under Armour. We have done proposals for Nike, port authorities. Doesn't matter what sector of the economy that you are focused on, there is always a need for the services that we offer. There are always companies who are going to know and need help in identifying the right opportunities. That's the business development world, which BidExecs has that as well, that you can be part of just business development if you didn't want to get into or scale and grow your business as in proposals. You enjoy the business development side of the game. You can be part of BidExecs and get all the tools, the IP, the training, and be a business development exec. Or you can say, I don't enjoy the business development part, but once the opportunity has matured, somebody has to go in and close the deal for these companies, and somebody has to write a proposal. Not everybody is good at writing proposals, or not everybody has the time or the bandwidth. Even the large corporations, no matter how many proposal managers they have, they always bring in consultants because there's just not enough in order for them to scale their business. So it's in a very lucrative and always in fashion business that you are getting into. And therefore, the opportunity to work as much as you want, never as little as you want. That would be I would say I would be giving you a rosy picture where none exists, because in order to scale your business, especially if you're in this business, there is no shortage of work. There's no shortage of demand. And therefore, you can be part of it. But up until now, you were either an independent consultant or you started your own company, but you're stuck. How do you scale it? How do you convince a customer to trust in you? There's a lot of trust that is involved when there are independent consultants involved. If I'm a mom and pop sandwich shop versus I am whatever our favorite sandwich shop is, I'm going to say Subway. The brand name that comes with it, there is a level of trust, of quality, of processes. There's a level of understanding that those things inherently come with you. So being part of BidExecs, being part of an already established market or a brand name, allows you to have and scale your business without having the struggles of, you have to market yourself. You have to convince the customer, you have to find leads, convince the customer that they can trust you. And oh, by the way, they can trust putting their entire company's growth in one person's hands, that that those proposals are contracts. They mean growth to the other company. So if you're a one person shop, you are a high risk provider of services. You eliminate that, especially with BidExecs. When you get in, you do not have to hire your own people on day one. Right? You are part of a network that is there. It's standing behind you, fully supporting you to say, go and grow your business. When you get that contract, we are here to help you. Corporate is here to help you implement it. We are going to help you actually do the work. And that's part of our system, that one person does not do everything. We work as a team. When a proposal is assigned to our proposal managers, it's not one person that goes in and does everything, but a team comes in and does everything. So the client can trust that their business growth is not going to be jeopardized. Well, how do you do that if on day one, you don't want to invest in hiring 15, 20 people? How are you going to be part of this business then? That is where BidExecs comes in. You are carrying a business card of a branded company, but with a full network of experienced business developers and proposal managers available to you to help you grow your business with the intellectual property, with the systems in place, with the know-how of how to market yourself, not as an independent consultant, but as a global company. That is what you're going to get. And that's how you can be part of the over $1.5 trillion, I think we're hitting in government contracting this fiscal year. So that's just government contracting. I mean, I'm focusing on the government spending. The commercial market has exponentially more spending going on, and those proposals are a little bit different. But again, a market that you can capture. So what is BidExecs? I keep talking about BidExecs. So what is it, and how can you join and be part of our success as a successful entrepreneur, be part of our network? So first and foremost, BidExecs is it is the first of its kind franchise opportunity in the bid and proposal sector. There is absolutely nobody else who has offered and packaged this particular line of business as a franchise that you can be part of. We are founded on the success of an existing company. As I said, Proposal Helper started BidExecs. Proposal Helper has been in business for over 10 years. I'm the founder of that company, and I've been in the industry for over 25 years. Proposal Helper has experienced year-on-year growth. In fact, I think if my numbers are correct, we experienced a 400% growth last year. So there is exponential, and we have just barely scratched the surface. Proposal Helper is primarily in the Virginia, DC, Maryland markets. There are government and commercial contractors who need the support nationwide. So we have proven this model. It took us 10 years. And what we are telling you is that you don't have to wait 10 years to figure this out and go through all the trials and tribulations, errors, and the lessons learned to get your hands and be part of this network of global franchises. We are creating, the idea of BidExecs is to create a substantial network of trained and skilled business execs to service the $1 trillion industry. What comes with it when you're part of BidExecs is that we expect you to not come to us not knowing what proposals are or how proposals are done. We expect our franchisees to have that basic foundational understanding. But we have perfected a system, a process that combines people skills, the processes that are very unique to us, and then the technology and tools that we give you in order to make you more efficient and scale without adding overheads and incurring a lot of the capital investment cost that any other franchise would come with, or any other business might need you to invest in. You are leveraging the power of a network. So let's assume that you are a franchisee in North Carolina. Eventually, when you first start out, you might be one or two people. And our goal and objective is to really make you independent on your own. So as your revenue grows, you hire your own people, because at the end of the day, this is still your business. It is, we are helping you, but it is your business. So we want you to be as independent and away from corporate. Corporate's job is to market and bring in leads and sales for you, but you also are running your own business and therefore want to make you independent. But as you're scaling, when you're starting out and scaling your practice, when you call on a customer and you say, hey, this is BidExecs, they're not going to say, who are you? Or I've never heard of you before, because that's what BidExecs is doing. We are branding ourselves as a global company, and we are going to be in every state. As I said, if there is a company that needs proposal service, if there is a company that needs business development support, they will have heard of BidExecs. That is what we are working towards very fast and furiously. And so as a business owner on your side, you don't have to worry about it. What you have to worry about is, how do you continue to increase your customer base and continue to get clients and service them with excellent service. Implementation is key for us, and the processes and the tools we give you will allow you to deliver high quality service. But once you're in the network and as you're scaling and growing, you are going to see that there's going to be demand, and there's always the demand and supply. Should I hire my next employee now, or should I take the next project that's coming in now? How do you balance that? Well, as part of BidExecs, you don't have to. You focus on getting the project. The network of executives, the BidExecs that are part of this network, we will find you the bandwidth to help support your growth. Within our franchise network, from corporate, we will find you the bandwidth and the skilled people, so that you don't have to worry about, should I take this project? Is it going to overwhelm my business? Will I be able to deliver? We want you to focus on growth, and we will help you, again, through training, through our resources, and help you get to that point of complete independence within our network. And other franchisees are going to face the same thing. They're going to be scaling. They're going to need support, but do they need to hire that next person just now? Not necessarily. They have you. They have you in the network, and they can tap on your shoulder and say, do you have a proposal manager that I can borrow from you? Remember, they're all trained in the same process. So the clients will never experience 5 different ways of doing proposals, which is generally what happens when companies bring consultants in. Each consultant has their own way of doing it, and the client has to keep learning and relearning the person. Well, we take away all that guesswork. It is a consistent process. So whether it is your own employee, or an employee of another franchisee, or an employee from corporate stepping in to help you scale, your customer is going to have the same seamless experience every single time. And that really means repeat business for you, because customers don't want to have to learn the proposal process over and over again. That's the advantage of being part of this network. The concept behind it, as I said, we're leveraging our global foundation of Proposal Helper to engage professionals in contract and proposal management. If you have been a proposal professional before, if you're working for a company and you realize that you're putting in all these hours, you're spending a lot of time helping another government contractor, you'd like to do it for yourself, this is a great concept for you to consider. Uh, Again, we're creating a global network of qualified providers, as I said, to meet your increasing needs. It is truly, it gives you the ability as a small business to scale as an entrepreneur. And there are very few businesses like this where you don't have to put in a huge capital investment up front and have a huge office space or a restaurant space and bring in all this equipment and then start selling. You truly can hang out your shingle on day one and be able to leverage our network and grow your business. We are looking for individuals who are local and therefore have a sphere of influence in your local community. You will be most successful through your networking in any business, not just whether you're part of BidExecs or not. If you are an entrepreneur, networking is your best friend, and you have to. But that allows you to scale. And part of BidExecs as corporate support, doing the marketing, doing the webinars that we do, doing the investing in all the digital marketing and all the things that you don't have to worry about as a business, is that you focus on networking with your local business community. They need to hear from you. They need to know you exist in the local community, and that's the starting point for you. But there is nothing that prevents a BidExecs franchisee from scaling wherever the customers are. Now, we do have some territorial boundaries set up to help and protect every franchisee, but very much different than the traditional franchise models that you would have seen. And if you're interested in learning more about it, please reach out to me on my email address and I'll talk to you about that. So the bottom line of this is that you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself as part of BidExecs. BidExecs is set up in two ways if you want to be part of us. We, especially North Carolina right now, and again, in some of the other states, also we have some availability. We are looking for area directors. As an area director, you are not actually providing proposal services. You're not actually providing business development services. You are going out and growing your network by bringing in franchisees under you. And by doing that, what you're doing is setting up a business where you have revenue share coming from corporate, and you have lifelong percentage of royalties that we collect coming to you. So you can either be an area director for us, or you might say, no, my passion is doing and working in business development, or I want to be that proposal professional. That may be your area of interest. And so you want to be our growth services franchisee. And that is also quite possible. And in that case, then you will be working in actually servicing the end customer. The products that we offer the end customers are also very unique. And there's more information. I have our websites listed up here in the top right-hand corner. If you are a franchise, if you're a person interested in franchising, BidExecsFranchising.com provides you with the information on, what's the cost of being a franchisee. If I want to be an area director, what would that cost me? If I want to be a growth services franchisee, what would that cost me? What do I get in return for being a franchisee? What are some of the commonly asked questions that we have faced? We have answered that on BidExecsFranchising.com. If you want to see as what you as a growth services franchisee, or as a what are you selling? What would you ultimately be selling as part of this business? That information is on BidExecs.com. So I welcome you to please visit our websites to learn more about this fantastic opportunity. And I wish when I had started this business 10 years ago, if something like this was available, I would have saved 10 years of my life. But I am super excited to now be able to be available to our veterans who are coming out. They want to start new businesses. If you've been a government executive and you're retiring and you want to get into the commercial sector, you want to work with contractors, you know acquisition cycles. This is a fantastic opportunity for you to consider. If you've been an independent consultant for a long time and you just find yourself stuck, cannot scale, you are in a grind, you are constantly working from one gig to the next, and you have to worry about marketing, you have to go, worry about finding your next opportunity. This is a place that you should visit, BidExecsFranchising.com, learn how we can help you. Our job is to help you focus on your career and grow your business so that you can work on your business, not in your business. And so with that, I'm going to see what questions have come in and answer them. And we'll hopefully wrap up here and give you back your time, because if you are a proposal professional like I am, I know you want to get back to your next client meeting. So I have a question here from Shelby that says, I've started a management and consulting agency. What are the key personnel you need to scale your startup? Depending on what management and consulting agency that you have and what sector you're servicing, as if you are in the bid and proposal industry, your absolute key personnel to service the client are going to be at least a business development executive who knows and understands the contracting industry. Again, I'm assuming that you are in the government contracting or commercial contracting. The key people would be absolutely to have someone who is a seasoned and experienced business developer. If you're a proposal consulting company, you must have at least one seasoned proposal manager, because they are the ones who are going to train your staff. They are the ones who are going to build up your team. You also want these people on staff because an educated a person who comes from the industry is the best salesperson. The client doesn't want to just talk to someone who does not understand their industry or their needs. And so an experienced person is very key to have in your organization. And then the rest of the staff that comes in, right? Your admin staff, your IT staff, your HR, all the periphery of running a business that comes in. Another advantage of being part of our network, of our franchise, is that a lot of this is already taken care of for you. So you don't have to go out and hire an IT person. You don't have to go out and have someone who is who has to answer your phones and take messages for you. These are all the advantages you get as being part of a BidExecs franchise network. All right, another question I have, I'm starting a business in proposal writing and bid management. How do we kickstart our business? What must a newbie do? If you are from the industry, if you have worked in this industry, the first thing I would say is call your Rolodex. Bring out that network. Hopefully you've spent your career networking. Hopefully you've spent your work life before you started your business, getting to know people in the industry. That would be my first step. You always want to reach out to people you know, let them know that you have started your own business. But then you need to have a continuous pipeline of leads that are coming in. You have to have a mechanism to build leads. Sales is very important. Another thing that a BidExecs franchisee gets as part of being in our network is the lead generation. Some of the industry webinars, not webinars like these, but industry webinars that we do, we get anywhere from 400 to 500 companies that sign up. These turn into active leads for our network, for our franchisees, depending on your territory, your area. We give you those leads. And I can tell you at this point, our salespeople have more leads than they can action. And we do about I would say anywhere from 2 to 5 marketing and outreach events each month. So there are a lot of leads that we produce, but getting started is reach out to your network first and let them know what you're doing. Make them part of your success. Don't ever see anyone as competition. See them as your, if you go in with a positive attitude, and I know when we announced BidExecs, some of the previous webinars that we have done, the roadshows that we have done, we've had other companies from our own industry sit in on these to see what we're doing. We don't see that as a threat, never see that as a threat. It's a positive. We grow together as a network. We don't grow in spite of each other. I mean, we don't grow without each other, right? We grow and do it together as part of a network, whether they're part of this franchise or your industry. So there's another question, an international location. Can you start a BidExecs franchise? Right now, we are looking internationally at South Africa, Australia, and UAE. We are not in the country that you're asking me about, so you will just have to wait for a few. But please reach out to me if internationally that I did not name a location that you might be interested in. We are absolutely open to other locations as well, but we are looking at someone who is able and has the ability to take over the entire country. We need a country manager, not just an area director. Well, I think, okay, what is the average size of businesses that could utilize your services? And at what point, dollar value of RFP, would make sense to hire BidExecs? We have serviced companies who have just started. I've had companies who literally have said, I just incorporated my business. I've been an independent consultant. I am now getting into contracting and I need proposal services. But our sweet spot for BidExecs services that BidExecs offers to contractors are generally companies who are $25 million in revenue and up. That does not mean you cannot support smaller businesses. We do very often do. But a sweet spot are companies who have $25 million in revenue and up. And the average, that's the average revenue size of a company. And at what dollar point of the RFP would make sense to hire BidExecs? Again, that's a very, difficult question to answer. It is how important is the bid to the company and why are they bidding on it? It may be a 2-person job, but it may be an entry into a new agency and the company doesn't want to lose that bid. They hire BidExecs proposal helper to help them out. However, I would say that the average cost of a proposal with BidExecs, I wouldn't say average, the starting point of a full proposal support service, the price point that we expect our franchisees to charge their end customers, the starting point is somewhere between $7,000 to $8,000 for each proposal. That's assuming they're doing the full life cycle of a proposal. But if you have visited bidexecs.com or if you've gone to proposalhelper.com, you will see that we offer something for every budget. A company that is just starting out and wants to do it on their own, to a full-blown seasoned company who is augmenting their proposal team with us. There is something for every budget. And so I always tell our salespeople, none of your phone calls should ever result in a no sale. If the client on the other end says, but I don't have the budget to hire a proposal company to do my proposal, well, they definitely have budget to buy an outline from you. So we offer something for every line of every size business, and that's really twofold. One is because we are passionate about helping contractors not lose out on opportunities to grow their business because of the money they have to spend, but also because if our salespeople are going to make the effort and spend energy in making a phone call, they should have something in their toolbox to sell. And so we cover almost every budget standpoint. How can we help small businesses who have no government or commercial past performance? If it's an established business, they must have past performance in one way, shape, or form, whether it's the executives' past performance, their experiences. And then there are other techniques that you can use. If you are just starting out as a government contractor or as a commercial contractor, the first stop, it does not necessarily have to be where you prime an opportunity. You can always be a subcontractor first, build up your past performance, and then try to be a prime on contracts. Question, how are you marketing your franchisees? I see very little social media. And you're right about that for saying that right now BidExecs is not a huge push on social media. This is a very new concept. And so there were a couple of legal priorities that we wanted to get in place first. We are now a registered company with the Patent and Trademark Office. Our FDDs are now available. They have been approved by the state of Virginia. So these are now available, and you will start seeing a big push for BidExecs, and which is why we believe that our franchisees will really benefit from this. The other thing I will tell you is that if you haven't seen BidExecs, I am almost certain you have heard and seen Proposal Helper. And Proposal Helper is the genesis of BidExecs. And we will be bringing the power of our network. In 2019, Proposal Helper serviced over 450 unique companies. We didn't do 450 proposals. These were unique companies that we touched and serviced just in the Washington, D.C. metro area. And that's just barely scratching the surface, even for us, of a company our size. So please expect to see a lot more marketing efforts now on BidExecs and helping our franchisees get their marketing and get our brand name out there. Question about the dollar average that I mentioned for each proposal. Does that $8,000 include technical solution writing as well? We are getting into the services that BidExecs might offer, and if you'd like to reach out to me directly, I'm happy to talk to you about how we price point different things, but I think I'm going to skip that question since that's not the purpose of this call. So again, I think, I appreciate all the questions that are coming in. Please keep them coming. Email me. I'm happy to talk to you more about our concept, how you can be part of us, and how you can grow and scale your own proposal consulting business. So again, I thank you all for your time today, and I look forward to speaking with you all directly one-on-one. Thank you.